And wow, that baby is making me feel insecure. I mean, that thing is huge. If I was born with a piece like that, then life would be a lot easier. What's up, guys? The wait is finally over. The new 24-karat gold set between World Famous and myself is here. This set includes every single color you could need to make ultra metallic shiny tattoos like this, or this, and even this. I'm excited for you guys to try it. This is all I've been using for the past 2 years, and I absolutely love it. So make sure to head over to painfulpleasures.com and use my promo code PONY15 to save 15% off. And if you do pick up the set and use it on a tattoo, send over a picture or video to ponycritiques@gmail.com and we will feature it on an episode. Once again, that's painfulpleasures.com, promo code PONY15. Once again, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be checking out apprentice tattoos, and I gotta say, going through the submissions, not so impressed. But either way, let's check out the first one sent in from Keith Balthazar. Keith, you sent over this black and white horror leg piece. I'm not super happy about it. There's just a lot of weird things going on, and we'll start at the top. The first part being Michael Myers kind of just looks like an old grumpy man. I know you said you've been an apprentice for 6 months, so gotta give you some slack here, but these are some rather difficult tattoos to be pulling off at only 6 months. And just the entire composition overall is not great. There's not really any flow. The way that they're holding the knives kind of just intersect and break the leg up into not a very pleasing composition. I probably would have done 1, maybe 2 of these faces and then wrap the rest around the side. And again, this is one thing that kind of really bothers me, is the way that people set these tattoos up to be seen from an Instagram point of view, where you're not really wrapping around the leg, you're just seeing everything on one plane. And these tattoos are going to be seen in person a lot more than Instagram, so you want to make sure that this is very pleasing to the eye when people look at them in person. So don't be afraid to wrap these things around and keep a nice flow to the body. You know, like I said, don't really use the angles of the knives as they sit, because it's not very pretty to look at. Another thing, when you look at Jason's mask up close, there seems to be missing that triangle that's on the right side, but there's nothing on the left side. So I don't know if you just forgot that detail or it didn't really show up in the reference, but it just looks like it's missing here. It also seems like Jason's neck is Freddy Krueger's hat, so that's a little weird as well. And the scream hand is also Freddy's neck. So there's just a lot of confusing things going on here. It's definitely not easily readable. Maybe focus on doing 1 of these faces at a time rather than trying to squeeze all 4 of them at once, because I think that's what you did here. They all look pretty fresh or done at the same time. But if you were to have taken that time just on 1 face, it probably would have looked a lot better. And it is kind of weird that Michael Myers has no hair. I mean, I guess the leg hair is doing it for it, but it just looks weird, kind of just fading up into nothing. Overall, I gotta say, I'm just not a huge fan. Try to focus on smaller pieces at once and then move on once you feel like you're complete with that 1 tattoo, instead of trying to rush through all of these at once. But I do look forward to you sending more in the future when you're further along than 6 months. Thank you so much, Keith, for sending those over. The next one comes in from Nico Serra out of England. And Nico, you say you've been tattooing for about a year, and you sent over this Lucky Cat neo-traditional-esque paw. And I will say, this thing's pretty nice at first glance, but I think there are a lot of little tricks that you're missing here, especially when it comes to the drop shadows. Drop shadows can really elevate a tattoo to the next level by giving it a lot of depth and 3D rendering, and I think they're just non-existent in this tattoo. The first place I would put those drop shadows is underneath these little ribbons here, because you can drop one onto the little gold part of the Lucky Cat, and again, really give it some depth, depending on where you have those shadows. The second part would be adding some sort of darker gold color to the top of that, just to, again, give it some depth and some, 3D effect to it, as well as some white or just bright yellow. I think you can have some darker shades on the left side and then have a nice white highlight or bright yellow on the right. But I do think the pink and gray and gold is a really good color combination. It looks really nice. It does look like it got a little sloppy with that black shading that's on the brim of that gold piece. It's just not very even, and it's kind of all over the place. So try to tidy that up a bit. And the very leftmost claw does seem like that line kind of got away from you a bit. I probably would have chopped that off a little bit sooner to kind of match the other claws. When one claw is different than all the others, it just makes it that much more obvious. I'm also not a fan of how this little fur, I know I'm nitpicking, but this little piece of fur is just poking out into that rightmost claw. It's just, I don't think it really needs to be there. It would just have a better overall silhouette if that wasn't there at all. When it comes to the line work, I do think you could have a little bit better control there, because some of these lines on the ribbon are very thick on one side and very thin on the other. And I also think that's a really good area where you can almost push and pull that ribbon. Some pieces coming more forward with a thicker line weight, and then the pieces that are in the background, it just use a little bit thinner. It just makes it more interesting. But overall, it's still a fun piece regardless. I think it could just use some tidying up a bit. There's another little part up at the top of the gold area that's next to the blue ribbon that's just all black. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense because it looks like that gold piece just ends right there when in reality I feel like we should see the other part of that ring. So I'm not sure why it's all black or if that's supposed to be the rope in the background, but it's just not conveying that. It also can't hurt to use a little bit of white highlights up in the top part as well, especially in the top of that gold part. Just throw a nice little circle dot of white and it would really make it look more three-dimensional. But either way, fun tattoo. Thank you so much for sending that over. Hold up, we have to interrupt with a word from Pony at the Third Coast Tattoo Studio. Pony?
Thank you so very much, Pony. We are here at the Third Coast Tattoo Show in Chicago, Illinois. We're going to find out what people's favorite race is, what kind of animal they would be if they were a zoo animal, and who would win in arm wrestling. What's your favorite race?
The human race.
If you were a hot dog, will you eat yourself?
Every day.
If you were a zoo animal, what would you be?
A dick.
A dick pic?
Dick.
Dick? On three, right? 1, 2, 4, 3. This is a close matchup. Damn. How do you feel about that win?
I feel gross about it. I don't know.
How do you feel about the loss?
I'm an equal predator. It's fine.
Well, that was a lot of fun. Now back to you in the studio, Pony.
Thank you, Pony. Very informative. And very good looking, might I add. The next one comes in from Frankie Hindmarsh from Canberra, Australia. And Frankie, you sent over this black and gray Hanyu mask with a sword going through it. But this tattoo is pretty cool, especially at first glance. But when you zoom in, let's break it down and kind of talk about some features. The lines are pretty tight, especially for being so small and thin. The thinner the outlines are, generally the more difficult they can be. So it definitely seems like you took your time there. I also love the little indents above the eyebrow and on the horn. They're very simple, but you can clearly tell what's happening. I also like the pieces breaking off the mask. It's just a fun element. The black in the eye could be more saturated. It looks like I can see some sort of skin showing through. And also that little line that's at the bottom left of the eye, just go ahead and connect that all the way. When it comes to the white highlights, I think you did a pretty good job on those in the mask, but when it comes to the sword, I'd say maybe just slow down a little bit to make sure that that white is packed in there and it's not so red when you go to take the photo. I know whites can be hard, I get it, but it's just slow and easy. I do wonder how it's going to age, especially in the hilt of this sword, just because all that black around those tiny little diamonds, they might disappear over time, but it's not the end of the world. I imagine the stipples in the mask will soften over time, which will just make for a smoother mask, but again, it's not a bad thing. Pretty cool tattoo nonetheless, although I do think it maybe could have been a bit bigger. Just take up the whole forearm, because what else are they gonna put above that or below it? It's just gonna be some wasted space. But not bad, Frankie, not bad at all. Thank you so much for sending that over. The next couple sent in are from Tatted by Hope out of Golden Skull Tattoo in Las Vegas. And wow, that baby is making me feel insecure. I mean, that thing is huge. If I was born with a piece like that, then life would be a lot easier. Now, obviously, this is from some sort of ultrasound picture, but it is kind of crazy looking. I mean, it almost looks like Edward Scissorhands' kid with a hand like that. And I don't know if he's trying to chop his own cord off and escape or what. I would like to see the reference for this tattoo just to compare it, but it's just a little confusing. I don't know if it's Edward Scissorhands or a xenomorph baby or what. The circle is a little odd too, but I suppose that's supposed to be the mother's womb. But I mean, honestly, these pictures aren't great, so you kind of worked with what you got, and you gave the client probably exactly what they wanted. But you did send over another one, so let's check that out. And this one seems to be some man asphyxiating himself. And that was probably after seeing that ultrasound picture. And I gotta say, this one is a little odd. I'm assuming it's supposed to be a clear bag, but I think there could have been other ways to make it look like a clear bag. It looks a little rough, and with all the stipples and mag marks, it's just not coming off super clean. And I gotta say that mouth is questionable. It just looks like a giant, loose, but wholeheartedly, I think it could have been done a little bit cleaner. Honestly, I think these are two of the worst tattoos you've sent in, so I do want to flash up this rose tattoo just to show people what you are capable of. This thing's pretty smooth, not gonna spend too much time on it because it is a classic rose, but it is well done, and I just wanted people to see that. So thank you so much, Tatted by Hope, for sending those over. And the last one is sent in from Johnny M, an apprentice at Lowrider Tattoo of 1 year and 6 months. And Johnny, you sent over this religious-looking tattoo, and I gotta say, I really like this thing. This thing is well put together, it's got great composition, and it takes up the entire arm, which is always great to see. I do really like the stipple shading point in the face, and similar to a previous tattoo, once that stipple shading softens up, it's just gonna be a nice smooth face. And since it is so big, when all that does soften up, it's just gonna be nice and legible. It's got great highlights and detail in the headpiece as well. I like how some of those pieces look like they're catching more light by having a lack of stippling. Nice eyelashes, nice eyebrows, good features all around. Although it does look like one side of those lips is a little high, but you know, we don't judge. That's God's job. I do think the rose could have benefited from having more outlines in it, especially since it is so large and in front of this figure. Just a nice 3-round liner would do, or even a 5-round liner, just to separate those petals from one another. Because you've got a lot of crisp features in the back in the religious figure, but the same crispness isn't brought up to the front of that rose, where I think that should be more crisp than anything else. But overall, super clean tattoo, especially coming from an apprentice. A-. Thank you so much, Johnny, for sending that over. All right, now I gotta share with you my favorite artist of the episode, which I think it was either between Frankie or Johnny. You guys let me know in the comments below, but if it were up to me, which I guess it is, I'd have to give it to Johnny with this religious figure. I think it's just a nice size, it's well done, not that many flaws, and I think it just edged out Frankie by a bit. But again, let me know in the comments below if you think I got it right. And congratulations once again to Johnny for being my personal favorite of the week. Now, you guys don't think I'd let you slide without sharing a sick-ass panther, did ya? Which brings us to our featured artist of the week, Dan Boats out of Netherlands, with this sick-ass panther. And if you scroll through his page, you'll also see a couple Lucky Cat paw tattoos that are super slick, very well done, and nicely saturated. And you might also see an ultrasound tattoo that is a bit more well done than the other one we saw. And he's also very versatile by showing a lot of different black and white and color tattoos. So make sure you head over to his page, give him a follow, and let him know I sent you. All right, now that's gonna be it for this episode, but make sure to check out the tour dates right here. Nashville Villain Arts, August 14th through the 16th. Austin Invitational in Texas, September 4th through the 6th. Golden State in Pasadena, California, September 18th through the 20th. The Milwaukee Villain Arts, October 9th through the 11th. Chicago Anime Inked, October 30th through November 1st. And finally, Hell City in Columbus, Ohio, November 6th through the 8th. If you want to book an appointment, use the link below. It's pretty easy, ponylawson.com. Fill out the form, and hopefully I'll see you soon. And don't forget, if you'd like to see your tattoo critiqued on this show, you can do so by sending them over to ponycritiques@gmail.com. Don't forget to label whether you're an artist, collector, or an apprentice. And also, please include your Instagram handle if you are an artist. Don't forget to subscribe while you're here, and we'll see you all next week.